Hi guys, this is Pratyush, and today we will talk about the West, specifically United States grand mistake that they're doing with India, and that will really backfire. Why I say that? Because West, through all these social media platforms which are controlled by West, technology platforms which are controlled by West, thinks that I actually wanted. That's what I thought when Donald Trump won the election. That hey, they both India and the United States are going to be working together to fight China because we are democracy, they are democracy. But beneath of my soul, I knew that the US being involved in war in Afghanistan, killing so many people, Iraq, and being in just a lucky spot in a lot of places and became very rich after the World War II. And there was a time when Japan was growing very rapidly around 1960, 1780s. And then because after the loss in the Second World War of Japan, uh, the entire military system of United States is in there, is in Japan. So they made that rich country not that rich country. Even the people are so hard working. See, the United States is making a profound miscalculation when it comes to India, and history tells us those who try to use subtle manipulation will often to smaller countries, to rising countries, will often face the unintended consequences. Okay, so if US understands that a lot of people in India use their platforms, okay, not in China, China has their own platforms. Probably India should have done the similar thing, promoted their own system. Understand, just like a lot of civilizational countries like Iran, China, India, Russia, and Germany, when it was used to be before World War II, these are civilization countries. It's very hard to destroy these countries from the beneath. Okay, their strategic depth, their intellectual powers, their cultural resilience. And right now, because India did not agree with Donald Trump that hey, you caused a ceasefire, and Pakistan went and begged, say you are the boss here, and Narendra Modi did not say you are a boss here. We are a sovereign country, and we have our own rights to decide what is good for us. And yes, America was not involved in the it might be involved, but it was not the main reason for stoppage of Operation Sindoor. Okay, see, they use the same Cold War thing that hey, we're gonna be crippling one country after another through economic, through military, through these formations that they have, and they have us quite a strong because they have all specifically after 1914 and after First World War, they have amassed enormous wealth. Second World War, they have more amassed enormous wealth because of people fought, and they were like just bankers and that were investing in this. So US says that hey, we should not take Russian oil because Russian oil is fueling the war. Let's say, right? That's the rhetoric that they are pushing. But that's not the truth. The truth is Europe takes more gas than India. Okay, China takes more petrol or more crude oil than India. But India is being blamed because the deep state of United States wanted the change in the government. They wanted they wanted to kick out Narendra Modi, and they wanted us not to grow, the fashion that we have been growing for the last at least 20 years. Okay. So and a lot of people thought that hey, if America gonna be decoupling from China, gonna be moving to India. That's not a thing because they can get the same resources and the same work done from a lot of other countries like Mexico, Philippines, Vietnam, and combine them and get the job done. But they just do not want another strong adversary like in India, which is sovereign. And why it is sovereign? Because India has never, after independence, has never gone to one side. How it was neutral, it was a cause of under Jawaharlal Nehru, our prime minister, the non-aligned countries later in 1971. Russia also helped us, and then it was all the time Russia that has helped us militarily. While India did ask the weapons from United States, India did pay the lot of time the money, but then Americans told, okay, you can use this weapon like this and this, and there's a technology or tech chip which is involved in that. And India knows if for some reason or whatever, if it does not please or makes America happy, they can switch off these $1 billion weapons that they sell to India and to other countries. So that is why India has always used Russian weapons. And Russia again is a country of real depth. Okay, Hitler could not defeat him. Napoleon could not defeat him. Okay, why? Because those people love their own country and they have a civilizational history. And so that is the main thing. See, other criticism that I'm putting in is India should also create its own Facebook, Instagram, and social media channels, and me preferably have actually moved to other platforms to run the ads like Rumble, which are more easier to work with. Okay, so but if I had an opportunity where I could advertise in India, and if there was a big platform like Instagram India or type kind of platform, I would have happily advertised there, right? So why are they doing this? See, their aim is to keep a check, keep a check on our growth, and to be under their own layers, basically under their own skin, not and to listen to them. Basically, that's what they what's Donald Trump wants. Donald Trump is that kind of a guy that he wants to be in a camera all the time. All he wants is praises after praises. Even if he does something like which was his mistake, he'll never kind of agree to it because just his way or a highway. Okay, so that's the problem that is happening. He told to people that he gonna be stopping the Ukraine war in 24 hours, and 24 hours has passed, 6 months has passed, and still there's no difference because all Russia wants is no NATO enlargement after 1992. That is why East Berlin got independence from Soviet because they gave it for them for free. And they just told us that Americans and Europeans that you should not expand an inch. And what they did, they expanded to Poland, this, that, Sweden, and all these countries. So that's a thing. Second of all is the West is refusing to understand that India has and refusing to understand that India grew to such a strong economy because they always thought that hey, India is divided on the political lines, caste lines, religious lines, and all Indians are most of them are financially illiterate and all they focus on spirituality and this kind of stuff. But now, and this is not just under Narendra Modi's government, but from 1991, after Soviet Union's collapse, after the Indian economy got opened, Indians started researching and studying about wealth creation, this and that, and all these startups in United States. Obviously, fund is given by United States, but by white people, but the brains behind most of them are Indian. Okay, so they have to understand that India is not a client state like it used to be under British anymore. It's a sovereign force, one to be reckoned with, and it is actually nice that India understood about this through Trump uh, tariff plans that he has that he thought that it will break India, it will break China. They tried to put tariff on China, and China put it back on them because China focused on economy, specifically after 1970s, when one of its leader went to Japan and say how they are building the state, how they work hard toward the state, and that's the philosophy China applied. To work very hard to be the world's center for all the product creation, this and that, and now they are evolving with the deep seek AI, this and that, and it's such a awesome thing. The problem is China still an adversary to India because of reasons around the this 1962 war, that is around Arunachal Pradesh and all this region. If they can have an understanding that hey, we can live peacefully, and we could be the reason why Russia can become stronger, China can become stronger, India can become stronger. See, Russia or Soviet Union back then was really strong when they broke up, but where they lacked was economy. So if they can get the economies, if and from India and China and Russia combining with the military economy, then of gonna be the third. We're gonna be opening the unipolar state. We're gonna be the more stronger axis or allies power than they could have ever imagined, because China is strong with the economy as well as population. India is strong with economy as well as population, as well as militarily as well. And Russia is super strong when it comes to military. Also, I suggest Russia is that big, and Russia has been friend with India. Not from now, actually. I remember there was a movie when I watched. I used to be very small actually. It was like it was in class 6th and 7th. Legend of Bhagat Singh. All right. So in that movie, also, if you study about Bhagat Singh, he was quite inspired by communism, by Lenin's philosophies, because Lenin and Stalin ruled around 1920s and 1917. All right. So he wanted that kind of a thing. So India was influenced by Russia in a very positive manner, but India did accepted socialism and capitalism. And after 1992, so if Russia was economically or USSR was economically very strong, then there would be no breakage of Soviet Union or USSR. But now they have an opportunity to rise again, and India also has an opportunity to rise again with China and Russia, and we're going to be a force to that will be helping the world. See how much wars America cost everywhere just to make money, because they have the best weapons out there. They have this industrial capacity to create these weapons and sell it to them. So if you are creating something, some product, of course you're going to be selling it. That's how you make money. So that is why from 1945 till now they have proper, I think more than let me see, in how many wars the US is responsible. In how many wars the US is responsible directly or indirectly after World War II till now. Korean War, Vietnam War, War on Terror. Okay. Well, I'm asking it from let me ask it from Grok. Let's see. Afghanistan War, Korean War, Vietnam War, Gulf War, Iraq War. Okay. Operations in Grenada, Panama, Libya in 2011. And Libya used to be a very rich country under Muhammad Gaddafi. People were very happy. But because they just decided to sell oil in gold, he was removed. Right? So this is Western hypocrisy. So there's a covert attempt. Okay, so they also got soft paths. So sometimes you see on Instagram or like negative things about Modi or some positive things about Modi. This is stuff that is being propagated through these powerful media platforms. All right. So why they do that? They want to break Indian election. They want to do a lot of stuff with India. They don't want India to be that very strong. Let's say that. So, but they don't understand that India is a young economy. China is a very strong economy, but China is an old economy because of their one child policy. Okay, India is a growing economy, literate economy, and one that believes in freedom, one that believes in growing, one that believes in entrepreneur, and they are all in they have studied computer science for the last decade, and so they got very strong with that. And yeah, so what should India do? First of all, India should digitally decouple. Okay, they should keep opening a US platform, but also create their own platform, just like they created UPI, ONDC. But also they should create social media alternatives, search alternatives, just like they have in China. I'm not saying to suppress Indians or anyone. It has to be open, but at least it has to be Indian. Okay, and then just like it is doing it, trading in our own terms. We don't need trade deals that strip our controls. Okay, we don't need somebody telling, hey, 50% tariff, 70% tariff, and now from tariff they're calling it sanctions. Sanction is different thing, man. So and weaponize our soft power. You can push Ayurveda, Sanatan Dharma, Indian innovations, okay, and the tech stuff that we can all gonna be building. Like we in my company, when I started, I was a college dropout, and I figured out a way to make money from internet, okay, and I never focused on getting a job. I focused on how can I use internet to make money. And that's how I was able to make my like first 18 lakhs in the first 2014 and get a BMW later on and stuff. So you should see, under Krishna said in Gita, see, when dharma is under threat, when value is under threat, action is not violence, it is duty. India does not need to fight the West. It needs to keep on growing economically. And that is where Modi and the Indians are focusing on faster, smarter, and being a silent power. The US can no longer play the puppet master. We are not asking for the throne. We are building our own empire. British days are gone. But I mean, in Americans, when Britishers lost after so much loss in money in the Second World War, what they decided? We're gonna be the next British Empire of the world. We're gonna be the one deciding what is. See, they support Asim Munir, who is not a democratic leader. They talk about democracy, but they don't follow it themselves, which is funny. And the people that follow democracy, they might kick them out just because of the things. You see the protest in India that has happened across just because of Soros and other people funding it. And why they do that is just to create wars and chaos in the world, because that's where they can make money, control you. And so, if you are a student, a business owner, or someone tired of digital colonialism, some create good content and your account is shut, it's time to unplug. It's time to build something of our own. It's time to rise, guys. I also suggest to you, just if you want to make some money with the internet stuff, you can watch my free training. It is more than affiliate marketing. Basically, I show you how we sell high ticket offers and how we create them and how you can do the same. Again, understand it is not that Americans have more IQ or whatever. They just they just have studied the markets like I have studied, just like lot top people study. In fact, we are much smarter than them. We are much smarter than them. Just we have to believe in ourselves, our country, and our vision. And now, so Donald Trump got so desperate to get this peace deal. It's like serious. It says one day ago, it is very hard, if not impossible, to win a war without attacking an invader country. It's a great teams in sports that has fantastic defense, but is not allowed to play offense. There is no chance of winning. It is like the Ukraine Russia. So why is America not? If who decided to arm Ukraine, America, but they decided to give them defensive weapon because they are feared. See, a powerful person is feared by another powerful person. They know Russia is very strong. If they do something positive or negative, they will hit it militarily to Europe or to United States or to any country in the world. Okay, so that's why they kept on funding the war, defending defensive war. Let's say that, and now he wants to fund an offensive war because he is trying to get the peace with Putin, and Putin, all Vladimir Putin wants is couple of basic deals, which is security for Russia, no NATO enlargement, which is a common sense thing, right? And no NATO troops, the people that are involved, countries that are involved, NATO troops, even in Ukraine. Let Ukraine be neutral and let's have peace. But they don't want that because they want a phase of time when Russia gets weak and then they can attack it again. And they've been trying, not till now, they've been trying for a long time. Even Napoleon tried it, Hitler tried it. They thought like, hey, they don't have the culture, but they have. They're very strong people, very, very strong people. See, crooked and grossly incompetent Joe Biden would not let Ukraine fight back, only defend it. Regardless, this is a war that would have never happened if I were the president. Zero chance. Interesting times ahead. Does it look like a president of the United States talking? Look like some guy from 11th class is like writing a post, like how good he is. That's how he's operating, right? I don't know why. He is getting too old to kind of understand things. Looks like, and if you see UPI growth in India, see this much transactions we did across approximately 186 billion. And since India decided to trade with its own currency, with the United within rupees and ruble, it also pisses off the United States because its dollar hegemony is on question. It's going to be so if China and India and all these countries started using their own own currencies, right? And understand, India is not Libya. India has new nuclear weapons, strong military, a strong presence. China is, of course, much even stronger than India. Russia, of course, is stronger. Like I said, if these three forces combine, things will be very interesting. Okay. But yes, in America could have been a very good friend with India and should not have done all of this. Should not have done all of this. All right. And yeah, so that's what I wanted to make this video all about. And if you're interested to follow me and learn what I do in my business, which is I sell internet products. I've been selling them from 2014 through paid media. I create products and then I drive traffic with paid media. I've made it very basic understanding training where I go very raw, very clear, and gives you the right mindset and the process required to be successful. So I just suggest you to watch that video if you need that. And all the best. Thanks. And make sure you follow my channel. It's a new one, but gonna be a lot of good stuff.